Look me in the eyes and say you didn't sleep with my sister.
I can't.
It wasn't planned. Neither was destroying my life.
Our marriage was already over.
Then why am I finding out like this?
It all started with one message sent at 2:14 a.m. No emojis. No explanation. Just 4 words that change everything. I'm pregnant. It's his. Kemi stared at her phone, half asleep, half confused. Then she saw the name. Tolu. Her younger sister. And in that moment, her chest tightened because there was only one man that his could be. Fola. Her husband. 7 years of marriage collapsed into silence. Kemi and Fola didn't start broken. They were once the couple everyone admired. Laughing too loud. Finishing each other's sentences. Planning futures that felt permanent. But somewhere along the way life got loud. Fola worked late. Kemi came home tired. Conversations became schedules. Affection became optional. They didn't fight much. And that was the problem. Silence moved in quietly, and stayed. Then Tolu moved in. Not officially. Just for a while. Fresh breakup. Broken heart. She needed space. She cooked. She listened. She noticed things Kemi didn't have energy to notice anymore. The way Fola lingered in the living room at night. The way his voice softened when someone finally asked how his day was. At first, it was innocent. Just talks. Just laughter. Just two lonely people convincing themselves nothing was happening. Until one night something did. No music. No passion movie moment. Just weakness. Just silence filling the wrong space. The next morning, Tolu left early. No goodbye. No eye contact. They agreed it was a mistake. A one-time thing. A secret that would die there. But secrets don't stay buried. Weeks later, Ada missed her period. She tried to convince herself that it was stress. She did a pregnancy test and it was positive. And suddenly, silence became impossible. She thought of Fola and stopped. Because this wasn't just about her anymore. It was about a child. She rewrote the message a dozen times. And finally hit send. Kemi was folding laundry when her phone vibrated. She almost ignored it. Then she saw the name Tolu. The message was short. I'm pregnant. Kemi stopped breathing. Not because she understood. But because she didn't. The room felt smaller. Her sister pregnant. There was only one man that child could belong to. When Kemi confronted Fola, she expected denial.
Tell me it's a lie.
I can't.
You slept with my sister?
Yes. The marriage was already dead, Kemi.
Dead.
I was lonely while still married.
No apology first. No remorse. Just justification. And Tolu. She didn't beg either. She cried but she stood her ground.
I didn't steal your husband. Then what did you do? I filled the space you left empty.
That's when the room changed. Because now, the blame wasn't clear anymore. Family members took sides. Some whispered that Kemi checked out first. That emotional neglect counts too. That loneliness makes people reckless. Others were furious. She's your sister. That line is sacred. No excuse crosses that boundary. Then came the pregnancy. And everything became heavier. Because this wasn't just betrayal anymore. It was a child. Fola said he'd take responsibility. Tolu said she wasn't asking for love. And Kemi. She was told to be mature. To understand. To forgive. To accept that maybe she played a role. Late at night, Kemi replayed every memory. Every sigh she ignored. Every conversation she postponed. Every silence she thought meant peace. She wondered something terrifying. What if neglect can wound just as deep as betrayal? But here's the truth no one wanted to admit. Tolu didn't just betray her sister. Fola didn't just betray his wife. They both made a choice. And Kemi never got to make one. Weeks later, she packed her bags. Not out of anger. But because staying felt like agreeing that it was partly her fault. Fola asked for forgiveness.
I made a mistake.
No, you made a decision.
Tolu
I
asked for
never meant
understanding.
to hurt you, but you did. And meaning matters less than damage.
One wanted a second chance. The other wanted absolution. Kemi wanted peace. Now this is where you come in. Was Tolu a victim of emotional neglect or a sister who crossed the unforgivable line? Was Fola honest about a dead marriage or just dressing betrayal in fancy words? And is emotional absence ever enough to justify physical disloyalty? Because depending on who you ask, this story has no villain. Or it has two. Or it has one and people are just afraid to say who. So tell me, if you were Kemi, what would you do? And if you were Tolu, would you have walked away or stayed silent?